For over 2 decades, he was a musical genius, a fashion visionary, and a cultural provocateur, a man who promised to change the world. And in many ways, he did. But somewhere along the way, the artist who gave us College Dropout and My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy became a different person entirely. A man defined by controversy, conspiracy, and a seemingly endless spiral of self-destruction. This is the story of Kanye West. But more than that, this is an attempt to solve one of pop culture's most complex and heartbreaking mysteries. What truly happened to the man who once said, "I'm a creative genius and there's no other way to word it"? To understand the final act, we must go back to the beginning. The underdog producer, yes. Producer from Chicago who couldn't get a record deal. His sound was different, his confidence was off the charts, and he had a secret weapon, his mother, Donda. She wasn't just his biggest fan, she was his moral compass. When he dropped College Dropout, it wasn't just an album, it was a cultural reset. He proved that conscious rap could be mainstream, that soul samples were timeless, and that a flawed hero could be relatable. He was the voice of a generation, a champion for the misfits. The world was his, but the first signs of a darker path were already there. A man with nothing to lose will risk everything. A man with everything to lose is a far more dangerous creature. In 2007, his life was irrevocably altered. The sudden death of his mother, Donda, wasn't just a personal loss, it was the removal of his anchor. Many believe this was the inciting incident for everything that followed. The artist who once sought validation from his mother's pride now sought it from the entire world, and often in the most confrontational ways. This period gave us the emotional rawness of 808s and Heartbreak Out, but it also gave us the infamous VMA incident. Was it just a moment of hubris or a public cry for help from a man who had lost his way? Against all odds, Kanye had a phoenix-like comeback. He retreated to a studio in Hawaii and assembled a super team of producers and artists. The result was My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, an album hailed by critics as one of the greatest of all time. He was back on top, and his reign wasn't just in music. He married a reality TV icon, and together they built a new kind of empire. A brand built on celebrity, influence, and mystique. The old Kanye was gone, replaced by Jesus, a man who saw himself as a deity, a god in human form. But what happens when a human believes his own hype? The final chapter is the one we're still trying to comprehend. The political rants, the conspiratorial theories, the public meltdowns, and the outright hateful rhetoric. The genius was still there, but it was now weaponized, aimed at the very people who once championed him. Was this a genuine mental health crisis playing out on a global stage, or was it something more sinister? The artist who once defied the industry was now being disowned by it. Adidas, Gap, and Balenciaga all cut ties. His net worth plummeted. The boy who just wanted to be heard had finally succeeded, but at what cost? We're left with more questions than answers. Is this the story of an artist pushed to his breaking point by fame, or a man whose undiagnosed genius turned to delusion? Is the final act a tragic one, or is it a calculated performance from a master showman who always knew how to command attention? The true tragedy isn't what Kanye lost in the public eye, it's the fact that no one can seem to agree on who he even is anymore. The boy who just wanted to prove them wrong now has the world trying to prove him right and wrong all at once. This isn't just a story about a musician, it's a cautionary tale about the high price of fame and the fragility of the human mind.